Hey, what's up? It's Wick for Xiaomify, and today we're having a first look at the all-new 3rd generation of Xiaomi Smart Gateway. So let's see what's improved, what's not improved, and if it's any good. Let's find out. Let's go. In the box, you'll find the gateway unit itself, together with some instructions, a pretty short micro USB cable, and wall plug. One of the things that is new with this hub is that it will support Apple HomeKit out of the box, and so you will find a QR code to pair it with Apple HomeKit on the box, on the instruction manual, and on the gateway itself, just to make sure you don't miss it. So first things first, I notice it's very lightweight, and after tapping on it, you can kinda hear that it does seem to sound kinda hollow, and frankly, a little bit cheap. The gateway hub is pretty small, being only 9 by 2.5 centimeters. It's powered over a micro USB cable, and it uses around 5 watts, connects to your router over Wi-Fi, and it allows you to pair up to 32 child devices over Zigbee, which is Zigbee 3.0 on this new model. New in this model is that it also functions as a Bluetooth gateway, which is kinda cool as there's more and more compatible devices in the ecosystem that connect using this Bluetooth meshing. On the front of the device, there is a button that can be used to turn the alarm on or off and to pair child devices. And there's a small indicator light on top of the device. The Gateway Hub can be installed with the Xiaomi Mi Home app. So I'm going to the devices page where I can add a new device. I'm scrolling to household and security and select the gateway. Select the Wi-Fi network I want to install it on, fill in the Wi-Fi details, and it will install. If you're on an iPhone or iPad, it will ask if you want to install it in the Apple HomeKit app as well. If you do, simply scan the QR code to pair it, and it should be set up. Smart Home Hub. Okay. There we go. First, let's look at the Mi Home app. Here the layout is very much simplified from previous versions of the hub. You can pretty much use it as a home security system and use it to pair all kinds of child devices for smart home automation rules, and that's about it. You will need to have some child devices as input methods for the security system as well. Oh, okay, yeah. So from the hub's device page, you can go to the child devices in the bottom of the menu to install a new child device. Here you'll find a list of all the sensors and switches from Xiaomi and Aqara that you can pair with the hub. So I'm gonna select the motion sensor and it will pair. And additionally, besides doing it through the app, I can pair child devices by pressing the button on the gateway for 3 times and it will go into pairing mode. Once I have these devices paired, I can use them as a trigger for the home alarm, as well as using them for smart home automation rules for other devices. So here's how that works. I've got a door and window sensor. I can select to add that as a home security trigger. When I turn on the alarm and this door and window sensor notices that the door gets opened, I will get a notification on my phone and the hub will make a beeping sound. So that's one purpose, but I can also use these same devices for a whole range of smart home automation rules. The number of automation rules you can set up are enormous, but really depending on what other smart home products you have installed. In Apple HomeKit, these devices are being imported if you've set up the hub with HomeKit as well. This would allow you to use the door and window sensor with products that you've installed in the HomeKit app as well. It will also allow you to ask Siri about the status of these sensors. So you can ask what the temperature is in the room.
The living room temperature is 19 degrees Celsius.
Door or window sensor is opened or closed.
Living room door is open.
So now, what is so special about this version of the hub? Well, some of you might be familiar with the old hubs. The first of these hubs was the Xiaomi Smart Gateway V1. This one is over 4 years old, I believe, and I actually don't even have this one. I do have the first iteration of the V2 model. That's this one with an actual Mi logo on the housing. Later models of the same V2 version actually have a Media logo, like this one right here. And then they released this European version of the V2 as well. And that's pretty much the same hub, but then with a little bit of a rounder body. Aqara also released several versions of the hub as well, with the Chinese plug and the recently released US plugs, as well as the upcoming EU version. The cool thing about these old hubs is that you could directly plug them in, they had a multifunctional LED strip, and they had a decent speaker for alarms and voice prompts and to use it as a doorbell. And that's exactly what I find to be slightly disappointing with this new version. The sound just makes a beeping sound. And it can only do this beeping sound, also when the alarm gets triggered. it doesn't have LED lights, which were actually very convenient. Quite a few things that I find to be missing on this new version. So what is my take on this version of the hub? First, it feels more like a largely trimmed down version than an actual upgrade. I could call it the Gateway V2C. I really do miss the good sound and the LED lights. And looking at the app interface, I'm missing quite a lot of things. I cannot ring the alarm on other gateways that I've installed in the Mi Home app, something that I could do with all of the other hubs that I have. So I tried to see if I could make that into an automation rule just to test it out. And that automation rule says, if the alarm on this gateway gets triggered, play this sound on the air conditioning gateway. And yeah, it kind of works, as you can hear. But if I turn off the alarm on the new hub, the sound will still be playing on the other hub. So it's not as linked as you would have with the previous versions, which is kind of disappointing. Also, I would have hoped it would support more than 32 devices. So perhaps this new hub might be a good addition if you have already one of the V2 hubs, but you need more devices because you have already 32 child devices connected. I'm missing the new battery-powered Aqara curtain motors that I cannot add to the new hub. Although I can add it to the V2. I cannot see the Aqara blinds, which also seem to be missing in this list. I can actually add the first generation of Aqara's curtain controller to this new gateway, but it was kind of strange to see that it will not be added in the Apple Homekit app. Because if I pair the same curtain controller to the Aqara gateway, I do get to see it in the Apple Homekit app. So maybe these are all things that still need to be updated, but I found them to be really missing. So yeah, as you can kind of hear from my rant, I really don't think it's a great improvement. Sure, it's cool to see it serves as a Bluetooth gateway. It's cool to see it actually supports Zigbee 3.0, which has a much further reach and consumes less battery for the child devices. And it's cool that it's yet another Xiaomi product that now supports Apple HomeKit. But in essence, it's still the same kind of hub. And really the sound this thing makes is just ridiculous. And I really miss the LED lights, so I'm happy to hear they kind of listened by adding the Bluetooth gateway functionality, which is something I was definitely rooting for. But then they did not add an alarm delay, and I can simply not imagine why. There's people that come home, they open the door, and their alarm gets triggered right away. So please, Xiaomi, please add an option that will delay the alarm with an X amount of seconds when an input device gets triggered, so that we have time to turn the alarm off when we come home. That's been requested for years, and not only by me. So that's it, the Xiaomi Gateway. It came out in the Xiaomi store in China for 139 RMB, which is around $20 or around 18 euros right now. If you want to be one of the first to get this, you can pick it up through the online resellers, to which I've put down some links in the description below this video. So what do you guys think of this new version of the Xiaomi Gateway? Do you think it's an improvement? Do you plan to pick one up? Let me know in the comment section below this video what you guys think. And don't forget to subscribe, as I'm doing a ton of videos about products from Xiaomi and the Xiaomi ecosystem right here on the Xiaomify channel. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see y'all soon. Peace.